Thank you, Chairman Simpson. Mr. Secretary, I alluded to the strong bipartisan support in my opening statement. I chair 8 nuclear-related caucuses and energy caucuses, and at this time I'd like to recognize for 5 minutes my friend from California, Mr. Levin, who is my co-chair on the Spent Nuclear Fuel Caucus. So, Mr. Levin, I thank you for your work with me on that caucus, and I recognize you for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Fleischman. Thank you, Ranking Member Capter, and thank you, Mr. Secretary. It's great to have you here. And as my friend from Tennessee mentioned, we have a bipartisan Spent Nuclear Fuel Solutions Caucus. I represent San Onofre Nuclear Generating Station, which you may be familiar with, and it has been, for a long time, a symptom of a greater problem in this country, which is the lack of a really clear and coherent long-term strategy to deal with the nation's spent nuclear fuel, and particularly as you and the administration seek to increase nuclear energy as a priority for this country, we've got to fix the back end of the fuel cycle. So I would love to work with you, as I have with your predecessors, on this issue. It's critically important that we do so in a bipartisan way, and that we fund the spent nuclear fuel program commensurate with the need and really with the challenge that exists. I have a chart from the DOE. We blew it up, and I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe the numbers on this chart. But the amount of money that taxpayers are on the hook for right now, hopefully you can see these numbers, has gone up from $27 billion in 2014 all the way up to $48.7 billion. It's around $2 million a day that it goes up by. So in terms, my friend Ms. Wasserman-Schultz is not here, so I will use this. But in terms of efficiencies or taxpayer liability, this is crazy. And as a member of this committee, I'm going to do everything I can to try to protect taxpayer dollars, which means we have to do better. The current projections from DOE says, 2040 maybe for a consolidated interim storage facility or facilities, all the way out to 2060 or 2065 for a geologic repository. I want to work with you, my friend Chuck, and others to dramatically accelerate that time frame however we can. So my first question for you is, are you willing to work with us in a bipartisan way and support an appropriate level of funding? Because that's the other thing. That this line on the bottom, by the way, is what the DOE has spent on these efforts. So that number is not caught up, obviously. So are you willing to work with us in a bipartisan way to support an appropriate level of funding for your department's work on spent fuel so we can finally get this problem solved?
Absolutely, Congressman Levin. And you laid out a problem quite nicely. We share a desire to see nuclear power thrive and grow, yet we've had a spent fuel problem as long as both you and I have been alive. We're over 25 years late in our commitment as a government to start taking the fuel away. I definitely want to work with you and all others. Certainly Ranking Member Capter as well is passionate in knowledge about nuclear, and she's got a lot of experience and knowledge I don't have. We need to work together on this issue. The broader issue I arrive with is that we've tried one direction. We're going to pick a location and then we're going to just do it. That hasn't worked for many decades. Right. My desire is to do this in reverse. If you tell someone it's going to be here, you're imposing it on people, their gut reaction is, no, you're not. No, you're not. We want to try the opposite approach. We want an opt-in approach. Who would like to host a site for nuclear waste disposal, may have reprocessing business there, it may have other nuclear business associated with it? I've floated that idea around. There's all sorts of states that want to be the nuclear state that want to do something like that. I think we've got to change the paradigm and invite people to partner with us to their economic benefit at their choice. My suspicion is we will get many hands raised in the air and many proposals, and my hope is that working together with you and others, that we can move something that's just been stagnant for our lifetimes into motion. But I am all ears for ideas and partnership and collaboration.
So this is music to my ears, because we've been working with DOE now for my 6 years on a consent-based approach, a collaborative, more collaborative approach. We've funded now in this subcommittee quite a bit of money over the last number of years, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to what this taxpayer liability really is. So I'm really encouraged by that. And I'd ask whether you'd be willing to report back to us with a integrated management plan for spent nuclear fuel that's long overdue at the DOE that is based in collaboration, informed by lessons learned from past experiences, and incorporates also best international practices. Can we work with you on all this?
Absolutely. That's one of the things our nuclear team is working on right now.
Great.
Right now.
I'll end it there, other than to say you have a fantastic team that we really do enjoy working with, that are doing great work. It's obviously very tough. This didn't get started overnight. It's not going to get fixed overnight. But I look forward to working with you to hopefully shave several years off that time frame. And with that, I'll yield back.
Thank you, Congressman.